But I think we have the match.
Here we go.
All right. The draft for game number 1, it's Axis Esports again versus Burmese Ghouls on the blue side. That's Axis. They hail from
Your
Malaysia,
team is
and they will
banned.
be fighting against Burmese Ghouls hailing from Myanmar.
And they immediately eliminated the Kufra from Burmese Ghouls. Again, the early game potential for that Kufra, the early game CC, they are negating it right now. And
Yeah.
they're probably setting up for a good mage here that can have an easy time in the mid lane without this Kufra.
So the thing is, Team Axis Esports, they're from the MYSG qualifiers. Well, actually not the qualifiers, MYSG MPL, and they have qualified
Your
for
team
N1
is
after
banning.
placing 4th place during the whole playoffs. So they lost against Resurgence. After a very close 2-1 victory
2-1
by
victory.
Resurgence during MPL Season 4 of MYSG.
But again, you can never be too sure if it's Mobile Legends, man. Right now, Burmese Ghouls banning the Kimi, removing the early jungle invade from Team Axis Esports.
Yeah.
What is the answer to this?
Let's see.
Chango is open. And there you go, the classic
Your
Kaja
team is
Kufra ban, the
banned.
double K.
The double K.
Banning the double K.
So now, Burmese Ghouls should be considering banning out the Grok this time or
Yes.
the X-Borg.
X-Borg.
And of course, Axis Esports, whoever gets a chance to take that Grok or X-Borg for sure will get it. So Axis Esports definitely will be considering and hinging their lineup onto that first pick.
Let's see, ladies and gentlemen. Again, we're live in YouTube Gaming. As you've said, X-Borg, very high ban rate, especially in day number 1. I think we have not, we did not see any X-Borg highlight plays.
Yeah, because X-Borg is so usually banned.
Usually banned.
We only saw
And of
X-Borg
course,
once.
Yep.
Yeah, that was... Of
There we
course,
go.
Harith is
Your
going to be the
team
choice.
is
There you go.
picking.
This is interesting for Burmese Ghouls, right? Because they know that the first pick belongs to Axis Esports. And instead of giving away one of the 2 top bands like the Grok and the X-Borg,
X-Borg.
they chose to give both so
Yes.
that they will open it up. This means that Axis Esports, they will have to choose this time. Is it going to be the Grok or the X-Borg or the Hylos?
Yeah, the Hylos is what I've been thinking right now. It is very successful. Yesterday, just baiting out skills and then using the Glorious Pathway to get away. And sometimes they do layer it with the Revitalize.
Yeah.
So, but as you said,
X-Borg.
it's the
Your
X-Borg.
team is
So,
picking.
Axis Esports, they do have the security of sustaining the side lane, especially having the Firaga armor on
Yeah.
X-Borg.
For sure.
Grok.
That's X-Borg and of course the Grok, like we said.
Is an answer?
It's either X-Borg or Grok, and Burmese Ghouls will have it. Now,
Yep.
Hylos is there.
Yeah.
It is available and it
Hylos.
will be picked.
There you go.
Exactly.
Your team is
Prediction
picking.
100%.
Prediction 100%. So, you have the Grok, you have the Hylos. What is the main counter?
The
Probably
carry, of
they
course.
will pick true damage, carry,
carry.
or a Lunox.
Should be carry.
Should be carry right now.
And then you go for maybe a Thanos.
Another support
Oh,
or
no.
another sustain lane. I
Like,
think
you
it should be
kinda
a support.
You kind of need attack this time, so it probably is the Akai for Axis Esports so that it will not be banned
Yeah.
by Burmese Ghouls. Or maybe get their mid laner this time. Like you said, the Lunox is available.
Yeah.
Maybe they will consider Chango this time because they are afraid of it, but of
But I
course.
think, more
Lunox.
damage.
Carry.
More damage.
Your team
And this is scary.
picking.
Because Axis Esports now investing into the late game for the Scary and this Lunox. The more HP you have, the harder the damage it gets.
Yeah, I think that they will consider the Chango this time because it might be banned out.
Yeah.
So the idea here is Burmese Ghouls should look for a Durance carrier. And definitely Chango is one
It's
of the
one of
best
those. It's
one
one
of
of
those
those.
candidates to actually hold the Durance. And it
Chango.
makes a lot of sense this time.
Your
and you know
team
what,
is banning.
Imagine we have predicted
We have
everything.
predicted everything, man. 100% predict
100% prediction.
predictions since yesterday, bro.
Since yesterday.
Since yesterday, we're on a roll right now. Okay, so what do they ban? For Team Burmese Ghouls, the Masha and the Granger is still
Yeah.
open. for the taking.
So
I think if they want that cover up type of play style, they do want this, but that is dangerous because again, 8% magic damage from the Lunox
based on the HP.
based on the HP, the Lunox second skill plus that percent damage, the 4% extra proc from the true damage from the carry is
Your
their
team
main
is
tool
banning.
to deal with this Masha pick or probably the Grok pick and of course the Hylos in the front line.
Yeah.
So for Team Axis, they will ban out the last remaining late game hero, which is the Claude. So the Granger is the only one left
Maybe
as the S tier marksman.
Granger makes a lot of sense for Burmese Ghouls. I think they will consider banning out a tank this time. Like for example, get the Akai out or the Lolita.
The Lolita,
So that it
yeah.
will not be available for Axis Esports to get because they can counter it. Another option is the Baksha, which we saw yesterday. Which kind of is good against the Burmese Ghouls, but
Whoa.
instead they're going to go
Your
and ban
team
out the
is
Valier
picking.
this time.
Okay, so I think they will go all in. The main problem for the Valier here is that it can negate an immediate dive because of the pushback of the Searing Flames.
Yeah.
They will probably go for an assassin right now or a fighter still to match up with the Glorious Pathway mobility.
Jawhead.
Okay,
Wow.
there you go. There you
Your
go. That is a
team is
fighter.
picking.
It's a Jawhead. So they will go for pick-offs right now.
They will definitely go for pickoffs this time. Axis Esports, they will go for Lolita. Lolita makes a lot of sense
Yes.
against the Chango. But what I like about this
Lolita.
is Joyd is actually an answer to the Lolita. We will explain later. Masha is going to be the pick.
Your
So the
team
idea
is
here is,
picking.
imagine,
Okay.
when you go for the Jawhead, you go for the ejector,
Yeah.
and you put the ejector up, the Lolita Bulwark will be negated. It's automatic. It will be cancelled.
It
That's
will be-
because
yeah.
of the knock-up.
Yeah, because of the knock-up, and plus, I do feel that the Jawhead is a good substitute for the Kaja. It is a good option.
Bruno.
The ejector is not an ultimate. It
Yeah.
has a low cooldown, so
Very low
every
cooldown.
time this ejector is up, for sure Burmese Ghouls will try to force out fights. So they will go for the crits right now as they will pick the Bruno.
Yeah.
So, for this game, for game number 1, I do feel that both of the teams adjusted on how the way they
definitely.
drafted.
I like it a lot.
I like it a lot as well.
Yeah, I think that if you think about it, Burmese Ghouls have really a very good control, very good idea of how they drafted, right? The
Yeah.
order of picks. They get the best tanks first, and then they go for the Chango. There's a good answer, however, from Burmese Ghouls. That was Lunox.
Yeah, I do
And
feel
Axis, I mean.
I do feel that Burmese Ghouls, they baited out the Lolita pick
Definitely.
because of the Jawhead that
Definitely.
they have. Yes.
They aren't scared of the
The
Lolita,
Lolita.
anymore because they have
Huh?
the Jawhead, and they last picked the Bruno, which makes a lot of sense this time because it has so much damage in it.
Yep.
So much chunks of big chunks,
Big
of,
chunks of
damage
damage,
instead
yes.
of those very small damage
Yeah.
damage types, like for example the Claude or the Carry.
But let's see, because that's actually hard to do, especially if you need to target one using your ejector as a player. But again, these guys are pro players.
These
So
guys
what
are
am
pro
I
players.
saying right now? All right.
Yeah, definitely they know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing. Of course, it's all up to the supports here for this game. And I do like it because we did see a bait battle
Yeah.
for that draft. Here we go. On to the Celestial Palace.
5
Game number
seconds till
1.
the enemy
For
reaches
day
the
number 2,
battlefield. Smash
Long
them.
will be using
All
the
troops
carry
deployed.
Scott as the X-Borg, Rin as the Lunox, Evil X will be using the Lolita, and Lassie will be using the Mash.
On the other side, you have Burmese Ghouls. It's gonna be maybe on this tank rock. It's
Maybe.
Ice on this Hylos. Actually, it's Kid on this Chango. It's PV and DV on this Jawhead and Ace on the Bruno.
All right, so in the mid lane, we do have a little bit of pokes here from the Grok and Kid, but I do like what Axis Esports is doing. They are giving Long the time of his life. This will of course go to the Lunox, but right now, Carry having the Bounty Hunter will get a good amount of XP to deal with this Jawhead in the bottom lane. So if the carry goes level 4 before 2 minutes, the Lolita can just immediately leave him be and enjoy his time here in the bottom lane.
Now they will try to take this river crab and are able to take it for sure. They're forcing out the
There you
joy
go.
this time. They're diving towards it. They will go for, of course, the unstoppable force. Well, that is happening up top already. There's a push on the turret, which is very, very quick.
Very quick, very fast. But both of these teams having the same plan at the same time. Unfortunately for Access Esports, the turtle will spawn in the top lane. So right now, I think they don't need to set it up because Burmese Ghouls has the map advantage. Plus, they are now having their early boots, so they can rotate very quickly in the top. So as we can see, the Bruno and Ice is setting up for this objective take as they will push out the tower.
Yeah, I think it's very important for anyone, particularly for Burmese Ghouls, to secure all of the turrets against their enemies, because what it does is it gives you map control. At least it increases your real estate in the game.
There you go, like we said. But again, this is the early game damage coming in from Rin. The Order of Chaos really paying off.
This is a lot of damage, of course, coming out from this Lunox. And there's a lot of pressure, however, from Burmese Ghouls in the middle. Expert will be here to defend, as well as the Lolita.
Initiate retreat!
They will just retreat this time, but they have the damage onto the Grok. Grok, however, runs away. Very, very tanky.
Maybe survives, even popping that movement speed sprint. There you go. The turtle for an exchange for a kill. I will always take that. But again, Team Burmese Ghouls having more experience, especially in the international scene. They do lead by around 1,000 right now, and Kid is at level 7.
Launch attack!
They will probably go for the immediate Ring of Durance or a burst item.
Yeah, Durance for sure. Let's see how they will utilize this early lead coming up from the Chango, but instead they will just secure the crab. There is the ejector. There you go. They want to go for the core this time.
Whoa!
But of course, a very nice usage of the wild charge to stop the bulwark.
That is part 2 of the death of Team Access Esports. As again, we've said this in the early game, you will pick the Jawhead for picks. For pickups, and that is going to be an objective here in the bottom lane for Team Burmese Ghouls, and they do want to shut down the space being created too long.
Request backup.
And there you go, ladies and gentlemen.
It's going to be a block from the Grok. Meteor shower is not available, but this means
Turtle
that they will again
soon.
take away the buffs from Access Esports. They always do this, and very importantly, Burmese Ghouls having the lead right now, getting all the turrets as well as the buffs. Now, the glowing one is already available for this Chango.
There you go. It's going to be
hurt.
another clash here in the jungle. That is the last Insanity Beam Pop. That is a Numinum Blast as well to cancel out more engage for Team Burmese Ghouls. But as I say this, they will just pick up one and they will be very disciplined. They will just disengage.
Just disengage, not being overly aggressive, not overextending against their opponents so that they will maintain this lead. Still 2,000 at this point. Kind of have to wonder, after 2 turret takes, it's still not a big lead from Burmese Ghouls. This means that some members of Access Esports are actually farming well. Like, for example, the Masha, as well as the Lunox, they're having a good time. But, again, they should utilize their farm to defend their turrets at this point.
But again, in terms of tempo control, Burmese Ghouls are the ones dictating where to fight and who to kill. And like this, Evil X even surviving with a slither of health. That is a Numinum Blast counter go. And this is too deep coming in for Burmese Ghouls. But 2 heroes will fall down from each of the teams. Burmese Ghouls underestimating that Lolita shield.
Yeah, there's just way too much defense. We will have the U-Mobile highlights this time. A very nice usage of the wild charge. However, they should not have been chasing this time. Of course, with the defense from the Lolita able to run away, the Numinum Blast even connects, and it punished the members of Burmese Ghouls.
That is indeed a nice flicker from Evil X to dodge out the second skill of this Chango, and it will give Axis Esports the ability to come back from this small deficit right now. It's still an even ball game. I do feel that Axis Esports, when we go up to 9 minutes, they will deal a lot of damage.
Turtle resurrecting soon.
It's very, very important. This time, gonna be a block on the drop. Now they will attempt to go for the turtle at this point. Burmese Ghouls, they do have a lot of control around the turtle area, and they are able to take it very easily, extending their lead once again, and of course giving them better chance of winning the team fights because of the turtle buff.
Yes, you are definitely right. But look at this, both of these scary players, the marksman is having a good time, just farming up along with one death. The Bruno still doing nothing yet. But as you can see, in terms of scaling, the Bruno is better in terms of one-on-one against the carry, especially having the crits. But as I say this, Team Axis Esports still buying time, pushing out the top tier 2 tower.
So instead of doing anything else, what Axis Esports did was just to match the movements of Burmese Ghouls. They just pushed the bottom lane, the top lane, when instead of defending the bottom lane. But there will be a clash. There's no Luminum Blast. It's gonna hit up to one, but they are able to kill up another.
There you go. That is indeed a late glorious pathway, ladies and gentlemen. The fire is burning on the dance floor for Mr. Scott, but Bruno will shut down the Masha. And here comes a retaliation play coming in from Burmese Ghouls. One by one. Shower in the meteor, says Kid 001. That is the flicker, and that is the ejector for the Lunox. And Bruno taking down the mage player.
What a play from Burmese Ghouls. Very nice comeback. This is the replay, like we're saying right now. Could be a kill, of course. That's the Luminum Blast only connecting with one, but the Glorious Pathway actually helped them win this fight. They are able to take 2 kills, but because of their overextension, Axis Esports actually lost more, and Burmese Ghouls, of course, capitalized on this overextension from Axis Esports.
Yes, and the range is just too far from Axis Esports to reach Kid 001 and A002. Clutch, flicker in, coming in from the Jawhead to immediately respond to Axis Esports disengage.
Means that the Lord will be in here for the taking for Burmese Ghouls. Slowly taking over this time with the Grok.
That is a
spotting out the members of Axis Esports this time. Go for the Lord, of course, with the Bruno in there, they do have the damage. Berserker's Fury picked up by the Bruno.
Yep.
And the Divine Glaive for Kid on the Chango.
So you have the crits and you have the magic penetration. What can the Firaga and the Bulwark Shield do right now? 7-5 is the score, ladies and gentlemen. Burmese Ghouls. They do want to set up the Lord. They're pushing out all of the lanes, and the Lord will go to the bottom lane. Kid 001 just popping all of these meteor showers to get all the pokes that they need.
Very aggressive maneuver coming out from the Highlands, but the Bruno is here. They're taking the damage. It's actually hurting the members of Axis Esports. The Glorious Pathway is there, but the Highlands will still die. Will there be more coming out from Axis Esports? No, because Burmese Ghouls, all they wanted was the top tier 2 turret.
Yeah, they just want to push. That is a sacrificial play coming in from the support. But right now, the Lord is here onto the bottom side. That is another wild charge. Here comes the Luminum Blast. Kid flickering in. Unlikely, ladies and gentlemen. And there comes the push coming in from Burmese Ghouls. They do want to end the game. That is another ejector play. Alley-oop coming in.
Shower.
Coming in from the Jawhead, and everyone is on the floor. Just like Bruno Mars. Triple kill from this Bruno.
Oh my goodness. This Bruno sang the song, and Axis Esports, they danced all the way through it on cue, and now they're falling out. That's the wipeout, and of course the victory by Burmese Ghouls.
Turn down the lights and close the door. Axis Esports is on the floor.
My goodness.
Says Bruno. Says A007. Burmese Ghouls securing game number 1.
A very, very, very quick game. I was one-sided, I would say. Not in a way that they are always winning the fights, but one-sided in terms of map control. And in terms of the tempo as well, Burmese Ghouls are controlling it. Why do I say by tempo control? It means that they're dictating the pace of the game.
Yes.
They decide where the fights will be.
Yes.
They decide where to push. And all that Axis Esports did was to overly react to what they are doing. And eventually, they lost all the grasp of the game.
I do like the decision making from Burmese Ghouls, exchanging a turtle for 2 towers,
Yeah.
exchanging a tower for a turtle and a kill. So every time that they do that, they win. They win the exchange.
Yeah, definitely. And because of the trade-offs that are always favoring the